Hi, in this video I'm going to walk you through the Excel model to calculate the earnings at risk and equity at risk. This tool was developed with the intention of senior management making a first and rough cut on the estimation of earnings at risk and market value of the firm. This squarely rests on the premise that all financial instruments can be summarized by simplifying assumptions about the amortization method and weighted average inputs. Usually the ALM models from different vendors like QRM, Bankware, and IPS Sendero, it used to be there, have a very sophisticated model to do income simulation. These models are implemented with accuracy, precision in mind, and with an exhaustive set of assumptions to cover all different variations of cash flows in the balance sheet consisting of a variety of financial instruments. During my days as an ALM analyst, there was a time when the systems were down due to a technical glitch and we had to quickly use an Excel model to capture the earnings, which is more than a back of the envelope calculation. This tool brings that memory back so that it strikes a balance between accuracy and simplicity for senior management to use this tool as a check on the earnings before ALM department comes back with a detailed vendor model analysis. This tool assumes that the calculation can be simplified by two amortization methods. One is the P&I, principal and interest, and the other one is the interest only. Further, instead of having a feed of account level information being processed, the balance sheet is aggregated at the portfolio level with all parameters calculated on weighted average basis. The coupon, the repricing spread, remaining maturity in years, next repricing time period in years, the caps, the floors, all of them are calculated at a portfolio basis at the sufficient level on a weighted average basis. The market data is dumped in the data sheet and there is a calculation engine sheet which is operated by a built-in macro. For example, this is the calculation engine, calc engine, that is being operated from the background macro to calculate the earnings at risk and equity at risk and value at risk for the investments portfolio. The four sheets that you have are loans, investments, deposits, and borrowed funds. So loans and investments constitute the asset side, deposits and borrowed funds the liability side. The model has a macro which runs in the background to calculate this. If you want to use this model, you may have to re-index row numbers to accommodate the line items in each sheet. This requires a little bit of customization. The earnings at risk are calculated basically by computing the net interest income for the first year and the second year. So you can either have a 1-year horizon or a 2-year horizon. The equity risk is nothing but the market value of assets and market value of liability subtracted to give the equity at risk. So in both cases, you will have reports that come out with NIA at risk, the earnings at risk, and the equity at risk. We additionally also calculate the market risk of the trading portfolio. Suppose if your investments have a set of trading portfolio securities, then this sheet gives you the VAR, the value at risk for 10 days at different significance level, 5%, 2.5%, and 0.5%. If you are fond of trying this model, please do not hesitate to contact me. And if you have a simple balance sheet, this is particularly geared for Tier 3 and credit union balance sheet. And if you would want to run an analysis to find the above metrics, you can contact me and I will change the hard-coded row numbers to accommodate to your bank's balance sheet. This is just a template and requires a little bit of customization to accommodate your bank's balance sheet. It also provides you a projected liquidity report which gives you the contractual interest cash flows and principal cash flows that flow into the 0 and 30 days and different liquidity buckets. So as such, this is a very simple to use model which is operated by the add-ins that have been generated for loans, investments, borrowed funds, and deposits. So if you go to start, you will have all four buttons that you can operate separately, or you can have the topmost button execute all to execute everything. I'm going to just do it for just loans alone to find out how things work. For example, if you click executive loans, it is going to calculate, the macro is going to calculate and operate on the calculation engine to get the data from the loans sheet and calculate the metrics and populate it in the report screens. So this is how this particular ALM model is going to be useful. So again, it is simplified at the expense of a little bit of accuracy, but it is going to give you a very good approximation, the first and rough cut approximation for the earnings at risk and equity at risk that a sophisticated model is going to calculate by the end of 15th or 14th that you have the ALCO period. Hopefully you find this tool useful. So while this is being calculated, I would also like to tell you that there are other models that I've developed in the areas of counterparty credit risk and incremental discharge that you may want to take a look at it. So the calculation computed successfully, and the earnings at risk is shown here and the equity at risk is shown here. So thank you for watching this video, and hopefully this will make sense to you. Thanks. Bye-bye.